Today, I got some of my favorite bets for the upcoming NFL season for you guys here today. Keep in mind, this is not betting advice. I'm not telling you to go make these bets. I'm just pointing out some bets I like on FanDuel that I'll be riding into this season with. Let's go ahead and get right into my first one. I got a couple best bets, which I think these are just really good, solid values. And then I got a couple flyers for you guys, that I think some plus 1,000 and more odds that I think could hit. So let's start off with I got Washington Commanders over 6.5 wins. It's minus 144. These are all on FanDuel that I got these odds. I think the Commanders, like, if Sam Howell's good, they're gonna smash over 6.5 wins. They're gonna hit 7, 8, 9 wins. I think they have a really solid roster around Sam Howell. But even if Sam Howell's bad, I mean, if Sam Howell's bad and they take him out for a couple games and Brissett starts playing, I mean, Jacoby Brissett can easily win 7 games with this team. I think. Like, I'm not thinking Washington's gonna go 11-6 or anything, but I mean, do I think they could win 7? Hell yeah, I think Washington could win. This is coming from an Eagles fan. I definitely think Washington over 6.5 is just easy money for you there at minus 144. That's pretty good value. Next up, I got the Philadelphia Eagles over 10.5 wins. Now I know I'm an Eagles fan, so don't listen to me if you think I'm biased, but at minus 140, I think 10.5 wins is easy for them. You're saying you're saying just go 11-5. I mean, they have a little bit of a harder schedule, but I mean, if they get anything from any of their rookies, that could make a huge impact on that roster. I don't like they returned a lot of their players. You expect guys like Devontae Smith, Dallas Goddard, Jalen Hurts to take a step up. I think our run game is going to be even better. Because honestly, I think Miles Sanders did great for us last year, but I still think I think we have an upgrade at running back with Penny and Swift. I think that backfield is going to be incredible, and don't be surprised. I'm just saying to go 11-5. I like that for the Eagles. Next up, we got the Seattle Seahawks to win the NFC West at plus 200. Personally, I think the 49ers are one of the most overrated teams coming this season out of any team. Like Brock Purdy, who knows when he's going to play, if he's going to play? No one knows. I love Trey Lance as much as anybody else out there. I am definitely a Lance truther, but we still don't know if he's going to play. And if they start Sam Darnold, this is the easiest money in the world. Like, we have no idea who's playing quarterback. There's such an up and I like their coaching. Don't get me wrong, but like, man, there's just like for the Niners, it's just so like we don't know. We don't even know who's playing quarterback. Whereas the Seattle Seahawks were a good team last year. They went and made some huge plays in the offseason. I love adding JSN to that offense, Devin Witherspoon to that defense. I mean, this team just got better moving upon a team that was already good last year. And Seattle Seahawks had a little bit of an easier schedule because they were the second seed, whereas Niners have that first place schedule. So an easier schedule. Plus, I think they're about the same roster wise, and I'm going to give the quarterback edge to Seattle. I think that's an easy bet. Plus 200 to win the West for Seattle is just, that one's one of my favorites. I just think the Niners are getting heavily overrated coming into the season. And then my last safe bet, trying to make this a shorter video for you guys, is the Atlanta Falcons to make the playoffs. Plus 116. You're really looking at them winning that NFC South. You're looking at the Saints, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers, I don't even have to mention the Buccaneers. Throw the Buccaneers out the window. The Saints, Falcons, and Panthers. The Saints are rolling with Derek Carr. Alvin Kamara is going to miss a lot, probably half the season at least. Who knows if Michael Thomas plays? Chris Olave will be great for them. He's a great player. Their O line and D line kind of. I don't know. Is Cam Jordan still going to be up there? I don't know. They lost Davenport. There's just so many question marks with that Saints team. And then you go into the Panthers team, and I love Bryce Young, but the Panthers are starting a rookie quarterback, first year coach for them. I guess Frank Reich's not a first year head coach, but their first year with him as their coach. Where'd you go, Atlanta Falcons, who overachieved last year with pretty poor quarterback play for the most? They upgrade the one of the biggest positions on their offense that they feature, running back in Bijan, who's going to be incredible out the gates. You expect Kyle Pitts to be used better and put in better situations. Who knows if it will actually happen? I have serious doubts, but if they unlock even part of what Kyle Pitts could be, they're taking that next step. I think Desmond Ritter will give them better quarterback play this year than any quarterback play they saw last year, whether it was him last year or Mariota before. He's just going to open up that offense more with being able to just throw the ball. And that defense got a lot better. I love the Jeff Okuda trade. Love the Calais Campbell signing. They made major improvements to this team that was already good last year. Like, they were sniffing the playoffs last year. And they kind of fell off near the end of the season, but like they beat the 49ers. Like they won some big games in the middle of the season. So I'm taking they add talent to that team. I think they're better than they were last year. I think Atlanta to make the playoffs at plus 116 is another great bet. Anyways, that's it for those safe bets. Now let's go ahead and get into a couple flyers. My first flyer, these are all plus 1,000 odds or more. Lamar Jackson to win MVP at plus 1,500. The Lamar Jackson revenge tour could be a thing, man. You find the main reason behind this is finally getting this dude weapons, you know? Bring in an Odell. You hope Bateman kind of takes a step up. I don't know if he will. I doubt they bring in DeAndre Hopkins, but I mean, they got some more talent. Zay Flowers in the draft. I loved what I saw from J.K. Dobbins. Hopefully, I know there was some like weird things about like contract negotiations with him. Like, dude, you barely even played. Like, go show us some more on the field. But like when he did play, he looked really good. Him and Gus Edwards, a nice little 1-2 combination in the backfield. That this it's the Baltimore Ravens. They have a great O line. There's no question about that. I just think Lamar comes back and has a whole revenge tour. Because, like, if you remember the start of last season, Lamar Jackson, he was balling the first, like, 2 or 3 games. I remember I had him in fantasy, and he's dropping, like, 45 points in fantasy. Like, Lamar was up there in the MVP after a couple weeks last year, and then the team kind of started going out. He started getting hurt, and everything just kind of went weird from there. But the talent's definitely still there. It's Lamar Jackson. Come on, let's be honest. So I think Lamar Jackson, just as a flyer, you're not putting your house on Lamar Jackson MVP, but I mean at those plus 1,500, that's incredible odds. That's why I have that there. An interesting one I had too. So FanDuel has most receiving yards by a rookie, like just which rookie's gonna have the most receiving yards. I like Jonathan Mingo at plus 1,200 for that because when you look at the receivers who are drafted, which is what you're looking at, who's his competition, not how good is Mingo going to be, but how good is he going to be compared to his competition. JSN is my favorite receiver from the draft, but he's kind of their third receiver in already kind of a run first offense that they kind of build there in Seattle. So I think JSN's gonna be great. I just, in terms of looking at receiving yards, I don't think so. Quentin Johnston is their third receiver. He's another guy you could talk me into, but I wouldn't say. Zay Flowers, I don't know if he's going to have the most receiving yards. I mean, Lamar Jackson going to spread the ball from Mark Andrews to Bateman to Odell to Zay Flowers. I don't think he's going to like heavily focus Zay Flowers. So I don't know about how many receiving yards he's going to have. The biggest competition for me is Jordan Addison because he's probably going to be receiver 2 behind Justin Jefferson there in Minnesota. But I mean, like, why I like Jonathan Mingo, if you're looking at those who are similar, I think Addison is only like plus 300, whereas Mingo at plus 1,200. There's a potential for him to be the number 1 receiver on the Panthers. He might not be. He probably won't to start the gates, but like his competition and his route to being the number 1 target on that team is the best out of all the receivers. I think Bryce Young is going to be good right out the gates. I don't think he's going to take time to get used. I think Bryce Young is going to come out the gates flying just with his mental ability to process the field and his ability to throw on time is going to translate so well to the NFL that he's going to be good out the bat. And so I think Jonathan Mingo leading rookies in receiving yards is a good flyer at plus 1,200 because it's looking at route to the field, possibilities, and quarterback play. He is the best combination out of all those things. So that's why I have that there. And then a bet that I don't know how these are the odds, but Tyreek Hill to have the most receiving yards is plus 1,000. Keep this in mind. Tyreek Hill was number 2 in receiving yards last year, only 100 or so yards behind Justin Jefferson. And Tua missed a lot of games last year, and he was in and out a lot of those games. There were some really weird games. And he was only 100 yards behind. Now, I guess you still have the Tua injury question, but if Tua can even just be a little more healthy than last year, I mean, Tyreek Hill, I think that speed's still there. He's still going to be great. I love Tyreek Hill plus 1,000 of the most receiving yards is a great bet. I think he's going to have an incredible season. I don't care if Jalen Waddle's there too. Like, I just don't care. He's still going to get yards because, like, Tyreek Hill's one of those dudes, like, he can do nothing all game and then boom, 80-yard touchdown, and he's already at 80 yards on the day. He just needs one or two more catches, and he's already at like 100, 150 yards. Like, that's the enticing part about Tyreek Hill is he can just rack up yards like that. I mean, he can just put up 250-yard games, the easiest out of anyone in the NFL. So I love that as a flyer. Like I said, if you want a safer bet, yeah, you can bet Justin Jefferson. You can bet CeeDee Lamb. I don't know. You can bet Cooper Kupp. You can make the safe bets. But if you're looking for a flyer, I love Tyreek Hill at plus 1,000 for that most receiving yards. Anyways, those are just a quick bets. I'll get into more some stuff once it gets closer to the season. These are kind of some more of my future bets. Let me know if you guys want more of these videos with some bets. I'll let you know some other like award races or stuff that I think, or some more just fun bets. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like, keep watching all the videos. Thank you guys for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one.